Hello noodles and nudettes, and welcome to the first extra episode of Final Fantasy Fridays. This is just after episode 3, which I don't know on the actual Friday, but we're going to get 2 episodes a week. An extra one, like in case any more news comes out, but if there isn't, then it'll just be me blabbering on. But there actually is some news I forgot to mention in the first episode, which I have here on my PC. There's going to be big news very soon regarding 3 Final Fantasy games. Now, these games are Versus 13. Yes, I know everyone, all the fanboys out there are dying right now. Lightning Returns, funnily enough, and 10 HD. But I'm going to start with 10 HD because we've been hearing about this HD remake of Final Fantasy X for the Vita for a while now, and people have started to get really excited about it, and the hype has started to, cause a lot of people killing over and dying. Not like that, but not really killing over and dying. But anyway, so moving on, Final Fantasy X was announced it was going to get an HD remaster. I'm not sure if it's a remake for the Vita. All we really know is that the battle system is going to be slightly different. I'm not sure if it's going to be like, I think it's the ATB that they're actually going to include that in this remake. But yeah, Square have promised that they're going to shed some light on the world. Now, they actually use the word promise. I know what Square's like when they use the word promise. It always means, we're just trolling you. You're not actually going to get anything up yours. But that's all we really know about the 10 HD remaster. Now, when people actually heard that Square announced the 10 HD remaster, there was loads of annoyance that had been caused by fans because, of course, why is 10 getting one before 7? Now, that's what everybody kept saying. Oh, we want 7 HD, we want a new 7 for the PS3 and Xbox 360. Oh, we don't want it for the Xbox 360 because Final Fantasy is a Sony title, even though it was already out before that on Nintendo systems. Now, I actually kind of stole that from someone, but anyway, there was a really good discussion about all these fanboys and such on another channel. It was done by Team Gamer Reborn and Final Fantasy 33 or 33, but people just call them Final. I recommend you check out their channels because they're really good. There's another guy, 2 other guys, Final Fantasy Nick, I believe his name is. You should go check out their channels. They're really good. They do a lot of good FF discussion type things, like a podcast kind of thing. But anyway, and Lightning Returns as well is going to be getting some more information about it. And technically, we kind of know a lot about this game already. To be honest, we already know who's doing the soundtrack. The 2 people that did 13.2 are coming back to do Lightning Returns. We know Lightning's in it, obviously. We know about the story. The 13 Days Majora's Mask kind of thing. Even though I haven't really played Majora's Mask. I've just heard people say it's like Majora's Mask, but I know what Majora's Mask is about. And yes, they're going to be announcing more stuff about that. And I think it's a sort of live conference thing that they did when they were announcing Lightning Returns. I'm just going to call that 13.3 because I really wish that's what it was called, because I don't know, Lightning Returns makes it sound like a spin-off, to be honest with you. I think that if they called it 13.3, it would feel more mainstream, because 10.2 and 13.2 feel like they're part of the series, like an actual direct continuation. This is set hundreds of years after 13.2, even though 13.2 you were jumping about the place backwards and forwards in time, which, was good. I enjoyed that aspect, but it was just horribly done. Now, this is the one you've been waiting for, the Versus news. Now, I mentioned this briefly in my last video about Versus, the information. The rumoured date is going to be the 25th of December. Not, what the hell am I talking about? January is the rumoured date that this information is going to be shared. Now, don't get your hopes up, because we know what Square Enix is like with their promises. It's probably going to be the box art, or they're going to have an English dubbed version of the trailer. I really don't think it's going to be big news. It's going to be made up to be big news. It's going to be, oh wow, rumours I've heard so far. It's going to be a playable character. They're going to do a new trailer that'll be doing English. They're going to announce the voice actors. Somebody said that they were going to have the characters from 13 in that game, which is going to be kind of stupid. And other people have been saying that they're going to announce a whole new 13, which I just think is blasphemous. I've been patient with 13, 1, 2 and 3. Type 0, I want that to come here right now. And Versus, I don't really... When I first heard about it, I was like, oh cool, this is going to be awesome. But now it's kind of died down. Like, everyone's still wanting it, but I just don't know how I feel about it anymore. If it's like... Because I've started to think that it's going to be bad. Like I mentioned in the original episode of this, that it's going to be a flop. It might be a flop, but we don't know. Maybe the hype's just getting it up. But I can't tell that for sure. I honestly don't know. But, people have been saying, oh, 13.4. If there is another 13 game, it will not be to do with Lightning, because they've already announced that they've had it with that. That's Lightning's saga over. In this final game, which is going to have lots of replay value apparently. They said that with 13.2, and I put so many hours into that game. I don't know, my play time is well over 100. People might have more than that, but I completed the story twice on 2 different accounts, and there's just so much that needs to be done. It just needs to be completely fixed. It's like 14, they're actually redoing 14 and it's coming out soon. I heard some people saying December. I'm not sure when 14's actually coming out, but I don't know. I want Lightning Returns to be good, and I want people to like it, because 13 and 13.2 were fantastic games. I don't care what you say, they were really good games, and everybody hated them because they were different. They were too far away from it. That's why people didn't like 10. Lots of people didn't like 10. Most people don't like 10 or 10.2. I personally hate 10.2 because I think that's the biggest flop of the series, apart from 12, because 12, I just cannot play 12. It's just so boring, it's so long, it's unnecessary. Half of it, that game could have, they could have done that game in half the time and it would have been better than the actual outcome. But 13.4, I just don't think I could be patient with another one, because when I saw the trailer for Lightning Returns, I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome, this is going to be cool. And I heard about the story and I was like, oh, okay, just take some of the Legend of Zelda crap, stick it in our game, but fine, no one will notice because everybody hates Zelda apparently. But the thing about it is, I'm worried that it is going to be too different. I know I just said that people complain about Final Fantasy games being too different, and different's good, okay, different is good, but it's like, I just want it to happen gradually, which is kind of done, because 13.2 was supposed to be a free roam thing, but I think because they said in 13 that they cut enough content from the game to make a whole new game. I think they did that with 13.2 as well, because a lot of it isn't there, and they wanted to fit it on one disc as well, because you can't really have 13 just like a linear story. Like the rest of the games have loads of discs, bar 10 and 12 and all that, but I don't know, I just wanted it to be more linear, if you get what I mean. Like, you jump about too much, there's too many I know other things to do are good, but you actually have to go out your way to do them. You don't gradually get to do them. Like in Skyrim, you can go off, you can do whatever you like, but in 13 you have to do, 13.2 you have to do things to get other things. Like in Skyrim, if you got a quest, you don't have to do it, you can go about and mess around, but in 13.2, if you don't do a quest, sure, you could go and race in Serendipity, that's all you can do, that's the only free aspect of it. I think they tried to make 13.2 something it's not. They tried the time travel thing, many people said that was a flop. I think that was a good idea and it worked. Actually did work. I can't remember what other Final Fantasy you go around and travel in time. It's not Reverend Wings, I can't remember, but there is one where you travel in time. But the whole jumping around thing does get annoying, and you don't actually go back in time unless you want to replay another part of the story. You always go forwards and forwards and forwards. Then there's these time zones that never happened. 4XX, 3XX, 5XX, and then you eradicate that, and then you get the paradox scope, which I think is the biggest kick in the teeth, in the world. Okay, you got this, now go play the whole game again, and it's going to be slightly different. Which I think it's kind of annoying, because I always wanted to play the game once, see the endings, which only, the paradox endings, only 2 of them make sense. In fact, one of them, and the real ending, that's the only one that makes sense, but the rest of them are just bullshit, to be honest, they're just loads of crap. So, this has been it from Final Fantasy Fridays Extra, which was actually uploaded on the Sunday. Sorry about that, I was meant to do this on the Saturday, but I just didn't have the time, lots of stuff going on. But don't forget to tune back in on Friday for episode 4. If there's any news, I don't know what's happening. Maybe some versus stuff coming out in the weeks. I don't know. But don't forget to come back then, and maybe on the Saturday or Sunday for Final Fantasy Fridays Extra. So from Mr. Metaphor, thanks for watching, and goodbye.